Uprooted and bouncing from one temporary home to the next, the bleak situation these dislocated Iraqis already face is about to get a whole lot worse. Baking beneath mid-boiling temperatures of the desert sun, families must now find new ways to fend for themselves in this harsh climate as the UN cuts back on its food aid. The UN World Food Programme has confirmed that the food rations it currently provides to 1 million Iraqis will be halved due to funding shortages. In a press release published 2 days ago, the relief organisation stated, "The rise in number of displaced Iraqis forces us to reduce the size of the food ration we provide to tens of thousands of families living outside camps, while the estimated number of internally displaced persons in Iraq currently stands at 1.8 million. Real figures are in fact unknown and are likely to be much higher." Inefficiencies in the food system became noticeable back in January this year after the value of food vouchers was reduced from $26 to $16 due to a funding shortfall. By reducing food rations to refugees, nearly 1 million Iraqis will sink deeper into poverty. As Abadi currently radiates with optimism after Parliament ratified his reform package, the prospect of a stable Iraq not only hinges on the plan's implementation, but also on a government-led response plan to the refugee dilemma. But against the backdrop of reduced humanitarian assistance and underfunding, Abadi's responsibility to resolve the problem will not escape him for much longer. President of Iraq's regional government, Masoud Barzani, has vowed to stand by the position he currently enjoys and has held for the last 10 years. With Abadi's reforms now passed by the Iraqi government, questions on the status of Kurdistan have re-emerged as the area braces itself for presidential elections set to take place next week. Despite sharing a common enemy, the Islamic State group, the leaders appear to be pursuing divergent, if not irreconcilable, agendas that could further destabilise Iraq's fragile political landscape at a time of momentous change. In a statement published by Kurdistan Alliance, Member of Parliament Rinas Jano criticised Abadi's attempt to uproot corruption and downsize government and warned that this could reignite political divisions and push the country towards collapse. Similar comments were published in a press release from Barzani, who has promised to hold earlier elections if political sides cannot reach an agreement on the status of Kurdish autonomy. While Abadi has acquired the needed support from Parliament to lawfully kickstart his reform plan, the same cannot be said for Kurdish parties. Cracks are beginning to show inside of Kurdistan's parliamentary system, whose parties remain embroiled in an ongoing power struggle. Iran-friendly PUK are hoping to curb Barzani's appetite for power, calling for changes to the regional election process in the hope of seeing the inauguration of a new president. Others simply hope to see new restrictions enforced on Barzani's presidential mandate. What Barzani lacks, however, as analysts believe, is the backing of Iran for serving a fourth term due to his alignment to the protection units of eastern Kurdistan. Although Iran is said to prefer its PUK allies to Barzani, it could potentially accept his fourth term on the condition that he severs ties with the protection units of eastern Kurdistan accused by Tehran of trespassing on Iranian soils. Skirmishes between them and Iranian forces throwing their weight around militarily were reported earlier today. With just over a week to go till Kurds take to the polls, the warring parties are yet to reach consensus on how to approach the outstanding question and dream of Kurdish independence.